Well, after a week of spring, it is now a very gloomy day. There's mist hanging in the air. It was raining last night, and I thought, what a perfect day to talk about some tobacco blends that go well with inclement weather. So I've got 5 pipe tobacco blends that will go perfect with this gloomy weather. So for me, when it's super cold, super rainy, I can't smoke here on my porch, and I don't have any place in my home where I can smoke. So oftentimes I'll actually drive on over to the cigar lounge and I'll just smoke a cigar. And partially for that reason, my first choice is going to be Cloud Hopper, which is a cigar leaf based blend from the Cornell and Deal Warped series. And Cloud Hopper is a really interesting one because you definitely get these fruitier notes. I get some red fruit. There's also like an earthiness to it, and even some orange, like a Grand Marnier. But accompanying all of that is what I think is a pretty prominent cigar note as well. And that cigar note comes across as a very creamy, peppery, thick note that is reminiscent of Rocky Patel Sungrown for me. If you've ever had those cigars before, goes great with coffee, goes great with tea, and goes great with rainy weather. I forgot to mention I'm enjoying some black tea here as well, which also goes great with a gloomy day. All right, number 2 on my list, we are going to head down Burley Road. I always think of Burley's as dark, rich, earthy, robust, burly blends. And one that comes to mind when I think of gloomy weather in particular is Haunted Bookshop. Haunted Bookshop, if you've not had it, is a very special blend that I know a lot of people really love. I've also heard that some people really dislike it because it's kind of bold in its flavors. I haven't officially reviewed it on this channel. I should do that at some point. And I haven't smoked it in a while, but when I think about it, I think of some of those traditional kind of earthy notes that you get from Burley. Not so much the chocolate, but accompanying that, there is a sort of mustiness. And I feel like it really does fit its name of a haunted bookshop. I think of just, walking into an abandoned library filled with dusty books and kind of get that, opening up an old book smell right out of the tin or right out of the jar. And that definitely carries over with a little bit of a sour note into the flavor for me. Sticking with the Burley theme, number 3 is going to be HH Old Dark Fired. And this could be categorized as a Weber or Virginia Burley blend, but the prominent Burley in there is Kentucky Dark Fired Burley, which is where you get the name HH Old Dark Fired. And this blend is heavy and very barbecuey. I always say the prominent note that I get is barbecued mushrooms. So that kind of mix of umami, earthy, borderline dusty, but with this really nice barbecue note that is just super fitting for, I would say, an evening or a gloomy afternoon such as this. All right, number 4, we're going to head into the world of Latakia, which is probably what a lot of pipe smokers think of when they think of gloomy weather. And this first one is going to have a little bit of a top note. In particular, it has a licorice top note that I think is nice and subtle. And I'm talking about Bengal Slices. Bengal Slices is an English blend that I discovered last year, and one that I know is really popular. amongst pipe smokers in general. It's got all the things that you expect from an English blend, with the kind of campfire smokiness, the earthiness, the woodsiness, and I would say it's not super heavy on Latakia, but it's definitely still the prominent flavor. But then on top of that, you've got this anise licorice note, which I find sort of weaves in and out as you work through. I would get like little blasts here and there, and it wasn't unpleasant at all. It was a nice little treat to accompany the smoke. So I think that all goes great, again, with a gloomy day, Bengal slices. And number 5, my final choice, and the one I would say is my all-time, at least for the time being, my all-time favorite rainy day, gloomy weather tobacco blend. What's in this pipe right now? I'm actually wearing this jacket and this beanie, not just because I'm cold, but a little bit in honor of this blend, because I think I look like a sailor. Call this my captain's jacket. I'm talking about good old pirate cake. So pirate cake is, for me, the all-time big daddy of Latakia blends. I believe it is 70% Latakia. And pirate cake is an interesting one because it doesn't have Virginia in it like most English blends. So I don't know exactly what it takes to be an English blend, but normally there's going to be some Virginia in there to kind of sweeten things up. But this is just Orientals, Burley, and then that 70% Latakia. As far as the flavor profile goes, this is not, in my opinion, a complex blend. It is very Latakia forward, but it doesn't feel like it's over the top for me. If you like Latakia, you're probably going to like this. I get all the things you would expect. I mean, Latakia tastes like Latakia, but again, smoky, earthy, woodsy. For this one, I think I also would say I get some leather, some Swedish mulling spices, and just a general dirt, a good dirt, maybe ginseng. But anyway, those are my 5 pipe tobacco blends that I think go perfectly with gloomy weather. I would love to hear what you think about my choices. Do you think I'm completely wrong? Do you agree? And also, I could have come up with, 10, 15 other blends that would have also worked really well. Those are just the ones that really came to mind when I was thinking about it offhand. So let me know in the comments what you think would be a fantastic blend for rainy weather, gloomy weather, all that. And thank you so much for hanging out.